The pain, the excruciating pain between what I know is possible and what I see before me.
Ken Saro-Wiwa and 14 colleagues were held without charge for 9 months in a military camp under appalling conditions. Despite this, Sarow-wiwa continued to organize Mossop through secret letters. Our people must be prepared to see me shut away for some time. I'm psychologically prepared for that, and it is not unusual in a struggle of this nature.
I acted as a courier for Ken's letters in and out of detention. Getting to see him was very difficult. At times it meant having to pay bribes, and very heavy bribes, to get in. At times you had to sneak in and hope that they don't get you. His was a particularly difficult situation because he had a heart problem and some other blood problems. So to get drugs to him was difficult because they didn't allow it.
He was in leg irons for some time and handcuffed, even when he was going to toilet. The guards believed that Ken had the mystical powers, that he could just vanish from the detention and all that. And so to allow him out from that cage will enable him the opportunity to use those magical powers which they claim he had. So that's made him the focal point of most of what the bad treatment they were giving to us.
Their show trial did not begin until February 1995 in Port Harcourt.
Charge number OCDT/PH/1/95 between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Kenule based in Saro-Wiwa, led in with Dr. Barine Nudbar Kilber, John Fenun, and Bariwo Bell.
I thought that the tribunal was fundamentally unfair. The agenda was to condemn Mossop as being a violent organization and to make an example of a number of its leaders. What the Nigerian government did, quite cynically in my view, was to take this trial away from the ordinary Nigerian courts and to put it in front of a so-called civil disturbances tribunal, consisting of 2 judges and a military officer. Those 3 people were personally appointed by the dictator of Nigeria, Abacha.
12 defendants were charged with physically taking part in the 4 murders. Saro-wiwa and Ledem Mitte were charged with having encouraged the killings, as was Dr. Kiobel, who complained about their families being intimidated.
Even my family at home and the secretary to the chief of my village is being chastised by the armed forces. If justice is to be done, I plead the tribunal to look into that. Let it be played for the whole world to see, so that whatever decision you take, your justice will be played.
Major Okuntimo did not hesitate from intervening during the tribunal. He had members of the defense team beaten, and Saro-wiwa's 70-year-old mother horsewhipped when she tried to attend the trial.
I was being told by the defense that they could only see their clients in presence of Paul Okuntimo, who was effectively a prosecution spy. And on the other hand, when I had private conference with the prosecuting counsel, in walked Paul Okuntimo, introduced himself as being the chief of Ogoniland, and sat down and started to participate in the conference.
As a lawyer, Ledem Mitte attempted to defend himself, but was continually blocked by the tribunal.
Those are opportunities for explanation. So I feel that is that at this stage, you cannot do so.
The prosecution case hinged on statements made by 2 witnesses, who said that Saro-wiwa had told supporters to deal with the 4 Ogoni victims.
2 witnesses who felt their conscience had pricked them sufficiently actually turned up and recanted their statements. The witnesses confessed to how much money they got and how Shell was also to be involved in providing such money.
Shell have always denied that any approaches were made, whatever the witnesses claimed they were told. Now in great danger, the witness's testimony was captured on video by the defense team as evidence to show the tribunal.
At this time, I was promised that after the case in court, I'll be given a house anywhere in the country. A contract from Shell and Unfettered, and some amounts of money to buy my musical instruments.
They also alleged that virtually every other witness in the case of Substance had been bribed or had been involved in offering bribes. Both the prosecution and the tribunal completely ignored that suggestion of bribery. There was never any attempt made, as far as I could see, to investigate it, and so for all one knows, none of the evidence that was given before the tribunal might be reliable.
The state has decided to ensure that the accused persons are convicted at all costs. The entire trial is, with respect, a premeditated plan to disrupt the proceedings of the trial. My Lord, I object, and I want my learned friend to be asked to withdraw that line of submission. And I want my learned friend to appreciate it. Like he scares Sarow-wiwa today, it can be anybody's turn tomorrow. It was Abiola yesterday. It's about to be on your job today. It can be anybody's turn. With the greatest respect, sir, I humbly apply to withdraw from further representation.
In protest at the unfairness of the trial, the defense team pulled out.
Of the fourth accused person in this.
The outspoken Femi Falana is now also a political prisoner.
The tribunal is no surprise at the action of this bunch of defense counsels. They have right from the beginning of this case had no intention of carrying on this case to its logical conclusion. Do you have anything to say about this issue of letting the counsel of law join?